Hey guys, it's Coily Diaries back with another video. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell, like this video, share this video. To my returning subscribers, you know I love you guys. In this video, we're going to talk about twists versus braids. We're going to unpack the advantages of twists, the advantages of braids, the disadvantages of twists, and the disadvantages of braids, and how to decide what might work best for you. So I hope you're excited about this one. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Twists. Some of the advantages of twists are that one, they're easy to install. So it's pretty much two strands being wrapped around each other. If you don't know how to twist your hair, you can learn in no time. Of course, there's more advanced ways of twisting your hair, but really at a basic level, it's just two pieces of hair that are intertwined. So twists have that advantage of being really easy to install. Because they're easy, they also are really quick. You can quickly just put them on your hair, obviously depending on the size, the length of your hair, the size of the twist, of course. And that way you can actually save quite a bit of time doing twists. So twists are a quick style that you can do. They look great. They look delicious. Who doesn't love twists? I don't know anyone who doesn't love twists. I love twists, you know. I rock mini twists for ever. Twists actually offer you a certain fullness as well. Sometimes if you twist your hair really tightly, it can appear a little bit thinner, although it might be neat looking. That thickness might not be as visible. However, if you twist your hair loosely, for example, it can really look chunky and voluminous and yummy and all that stuff. So if thickness is something that you like, twists might be the style for you. Very minimal scalp tension. Once again, depending how tight, depending how much you're twisting and twirling each twist against each other, that will determine how much tension you get on your scalp. But generally speaking, twists, for me, zero tension on the scalp. They're really quite comfortable, so that's an advantage. Another thing is that they offer you access to the scalp, right? There's things like, I don't know, cornrows. Yeah, you can get access to the scalp, but you know, it's a larger section that you kind of need to go through. If you wear things like a weave, for example, gosh, it can be really difficult to get to the scalp and try to wash your hair. Same thing with things like maybe crochet. You know, you've got a full covering maybe of extensions, and it can be difficult to get to the scalp like that. So twists just offer you really good access to your scalp and your hair as well. You can easily wash, condition and style, moisturize your hair as well with the twists. You can do an entire wash day with twists. Takedown is easy. Takedown, I mean, if the install is easy, I guess it's obvious. The takedown is just pretty much unraveling what you twisted, so love twists for that. Styling is quite versatile as well because the hair is quite flexible when in twists and offers that fullness. You can style your hair in different styles, low buns, updos, half part up, half down. You know, we can do something like this where you have twists up here and then you've got something going on. So you can really be versatile with your twists. Twists allow for you to easily remove and apply products. So yeah, it's just two strands of twists, so it's quite easy to get moisture in and out as well. So that's something about twists where it's an advantage to me, because if you want to moisturize your hair, you really can get that product and hydration into the hair. And if you want to wash your hair in twists, you can be assured that you know the shampoo is going to go in and remove all that, and you're able to rinse through and go in between the twist to actually cleanse the hair effectively. Lastly, twists are actually great for length retention. So if you're trying to grow your hair, twists. Now, disadvantages. Twists don't last long. Twists don't last long. I mean, once again, depending on the method that you use to install, for me, twists don't last that long. For me to maintain a clean look, it's probably just 2 weeks. I retwist my hair monthly, so 2 weeks I'll be looking fresh. Okay, the last 2 weeks of the month I do things like this and wear headbands and head wraps and things just to take me that extra couple of weeks without retwisting my hair. So because it's just 2 strands, it doesn't offer longevity. Shrinkage. Because it's just 2 strands being twisted, you can get quite a bit of shrinkage. Shed hair can just cause havoc unless you implement things like stretching and making sure that you don't allow the hair to dry just loose in those twists. But in general, twists can actually shrink quite a bit. And just in the line of shed hair can really just, especially when the hair is shrunken, that shed hair can just go and cause tangles. That's another point, tangles. It's easy for twists to tangle compared to other styles or braids, as I'll discuss a bit later. But yeah, I personally have found that shed hairs easily tangle around the twist and around the hair when my hair is in twists. There is more tangles, or the hair can tangle easily when in twists, unless you implement things like stretching, like I said. However, if you just leave twists on their own, you do a whole wash day and just leave the twists alone, it's gonna lock up. It'll feel like, it won't feel like a detangling session. It'll feel like unlocking my twists or something like that. So yeah, twists can really tangle up. The ends of twists can also be vulnerable, just depending, you know, if you borrowed hair, if it's very fine at the ends, if the ends are just loose. You know, a lot of people would twirl the ends, but I like to tuck the ends into the hair and stretch them so that, you know, they're stretched, they're tucked in, they're highly moisturized. It's just, you know, cover all my bases. But in general, the ends can be vulnerable when you've got twists on. Frizz, that's another thing. It's easy to get frizz when you've got twists on. I guess it does kind of relate to the fact that they don't last long. So yeah, that's something to think about when you're considering twists. Lastly, moisture can actually escape faster. Now, do twists keep moisture in? Yes, they'll keep moisture in for longer when compared to loose hair. However, when compared to other styles or even braids, for example, twists will not hold your moisture that long. So I mean, it's better than having loose hair, but there is better things you can do if you really want to keep moisture in your hair for much, much longer. On to braids. Braids advantages, they last long. Braids last long. It's 3 drops, okay? So the style just lasts long, in my experience. Let me know what you found in your own experience wearing braids. They look great, right? Braids look great. By the way, I'm talking about twists and braids with your own hair, okay? Braids look great. I love the look of braids. While I prefer twist as my personal style, I also do like the look of braids. Like twists, braids will also offer you access to the scalp. So you can cleanse your scalp, wash it, you know, hydrate, massage, etc. Braids do offer you more moisture retention than twists. And that is a great advantage when it comes to braids. Because it's 3 cords, it allows for moisture to be trapped a little bit better within the braid, keeping your hair hydrated and moisturized for much longer than twists. Less tangles. Braids really just avoid tangles, shed hairs, shrinkage, okay? Braids, they'll sort you out when it comes to that. They really do keep the hair in place, and that's a strong advantage of braids. If you're trying to avoid tangles, braids is the way to go. At least in my experience, that's what I found. Another advantage of braids is that because there's less frizz, it's a more neater look, you know, and the longevity of it allows for less breakage, okay? Because the hair is not frizzy and shrinking and shed hairs everywhere, everything is in place in the braid, there's less chances for breakage. leading to the fact that you can actually retain a lot of length with braids. So there you go. The ends of the braids can also be quite protected and quite strong, because if you do things right and you're able to braid the hair all the way out up to the ends, it means the ends are also strongly anchored. I don't know what word to use, but your ends will not be weak or left alone. There's strength in numbers, right? So if you braid and you're able to braid all the way to the end and tuck that hair in, those ends are, they're gonna have a fighting chance when it comes to breakage and length retention. So those are the advantages of braids. Disadvantages of braids, they can look quite thin, right? So I personally like the look of braids. However, because it's a more concise, tighter, neater, firmer style, it does mean that the trade-off is a lack of fullness. So they can appear thin, and I mean, I personally don't like how my hair looks, as in the thinness of it. I'm able to wear braids, and I like braids if I'm able to have some kind of thickness. So just the individual look of braids I like, but I don't like the thin appearance of the finished style that comes with braids. I don't know if that makes sense. Don't want to confuse you, but yeah, braids can appear or make you to appear to have thin hair. They require more skill to install. All right, I'm not a good braider. I can braid, but I'm not a good braider. So it's different to twists where you're just twisting around two pieces of hair. With braids, and there's different ways of braiding, so you actually need to learn, you know, how to braid and how to, interchange three parts of hair. So it does require a little bit of skill, but nothing beyond our reach, okay? Because it's a little bit of a firmer style, it can have a bit of tension on the scalp if done too firmly, okay? So that's a caution with braids. If you're tender scalp, like headed, and you just cannot stand tension or, tagging and all that, I wouldn't say stay away from braids, but just be cautious as you are installing them to make sure you don't put tension on your scalp. It can be harder to infuse and to remove products out of braids just because it's a braid, right? Yeah, there's three ropes there that are, holding the hair together. So it can be quite tricky in and out. And that can actually be an advantage or disadvantage depending on how you look at it. If it's wash day and you're trying to do your entire wash day in braids, you might need to be just more intentional about making sure the product is in the hair and out of the hair. But yeah, definitely harder than twists. Braids take longer to install. Yeah. Especially if you're going to do like mini braids, guys. For me, it's always taken me a little bit longer to do my braids when compared to twists, so that's a disadvantage. As you can imagine, because the install takes a bit of time, the takedown will take a little bit of time as well, so something to consider. And finally, it's not as easy to style braids because they actually appear thin, or they make the hair appear thinner. It's tricky to be versatile with braids, in my opinion, and in just my experience. So if you're looking for style versatility, braids are probably not it. I pretty much just keep my hair in a bun when I've got braids in. I've done a video doing some medium-sized braids. I'll put a link above. And that's probably one of the major deterrents for me when it comes to doing braids on my hair. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do them. You can definitely try it out and see how it works for your hair. I hope this video has helped you decide if you're a braid girl or a mini twist or just a normal twist girl. Just because you do the other doesn't mean you can't do the other. You can actually switch things up if you like. That is one of the beauties of having natural hair. It's quite versatile. So there you have it. All right, comment below. Let me know which one you do currently, which one you prefer, or if it's a different style, and what are the reasons for choosing that style for yourself. Until next time, it's Coily Diaries. Bye.